Greetings and welcome to What's Spinning, the show where we talk about new music generally, but whatever, just kind of whatever's playing on our their stereo, phone, graphic, Vitrola, 8-track,
Walkman.
Walkman, those kind of things. Just
Discman.
whatever's playing. What's new? Today we're discussing the Bouncing Souls 10 Stories High that just came out this past week. With me, as always, I don't have fancy titles for him. We've got Ed and we've got Jason.
Roar.
And of course, I'm your host, Joe. So this album just came out. This is kind of a off the cuff more show when we do What's Spinning, just because we're not going to put things together like we do at Rant Rank or Is It Our Top Songs, even though as you know those are very high quality, well produced shows. We're just we're just kind of here bullshitting about records. It's kind of like our odd shots, or if you are a Patreon member, which you should be, kind of like our lost and found. We're going to do a little more off the cuff, talk about the album, what we feel about it.
First impressions. It's only
first
been out for a
impressions.
couple days.
Yeah. So, without further adu, The Bouncing Souls, 10 Stories High, came out this week. This is The Bouncing Souls. Hang on. Hold, please. 11th album, studio album. If my memory is correct. If my
You are
notes
correct. Yeah.
So their first album, way back in some time that I don't have written down here, but now we're in 2023 with the 11th album by them.
1994.
So that's almost a 30-year span. If my math is correct, it is almost a 30-year span. So that's impressive for them. Jason, talk to us about this album. So there's a story behind this album, how they got there. Let's get there.
So during COVID, the Bouncing Souls asked their fans to. I think they had a Patreon. They had something set up where you could, you'd send them stories, and if they use that story in a song, then they correspond with you. And so this album is really, how many tracks is it? 10
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
stories written by their fans that they turned into songs, which is super cool for a band to do. Like that is that's pretty amazing. I mean, closest I got was my strung out tattoo and a strung out record. But ironically, I joined a Facebook group last week, and the owner of that Facebook group was one of the people who sent in a story, and it was selected, and it's for the song Vin and Casey. So we might get them on the show. We might do another episode about the Bouncing Souls and have them explain it better, the whole process. I mean, they've got notes back and forth with Greg and all this really cool stuff. But anyway, that's how the songs came together. So it's kind of like Ghost in the Boardwalk in that sense, where it's like a collection of songs they put together into an album. And to me, this is the best Bouncing Souls record since Ghost. It is a phenomenal. It's over too quick. That's the only negative thing I can say. It's a super quick record, but there's not a bad track on it.
No, and I don't know if it's over too quick or if it's perfect. I can't decide because to me, this is the best album of 2023 so far. I think that every song on it is great. There's not really a slowdown. True Believer Radio may. The only thing, I take that back. Here's what I don't like about True
That's because
Believer
you're not
Radio.
a true believer.
The
Watch
words,
our Bouncing Souls past videos to see how Joe and Ed are not true believers.
when he sings True Believer Radio, just those words, I'm like, I don't really care for that. But everything else between that is amazing. So,
No, the words to that though, man. That's one of the reasons why that I was gonna say that's my. And I've only heard, full disclosure here, I just heard the album today. Haven't had much time with it, but that one.
Yeah, we're
made
old.
my
We have
ear-
jobs and wives and kids, so
That
Yeah.
made my ear perk when I talked about the hero. Yeah, I traveled through the airwaves, bouncing with the sounds of all my heroes.
oh, that's
I
awesome.
mean, that's so true. Like growing, you know what I mean? Like it's such a every like growing up, especially listening to these things, and like nowadays, like with people being able to make playlists and all that, like it's like your heroes will never have to leave your radio. You know, they're always there. Anyways, this is one of the songs that really that line. I was like, yeah, that's very good. I liked it.
Yeah, like I said, so there's not a bad song on this record going through. So like I said, I don't know if it's too quick or if they just did a perfect thing. I wish there was more. I wish there were more stories and they were all as badass as this song.
There was one song that I thought that, and it wasn't bad. It just did not sound like them. Like the sound was a little off. I can't remember.
Was it Shannon's song? Because to me, still that one sounds off.
I think so.
Somehow.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. Like it just didn't sound like a Souls kind of tune, but it's not a bad song. I'm just saying that it just doesn't sound. And also towards the end of the album, and again, I've only heard it once. When you go back and listen to it, it seems like they get more slow. Like it's slow. It calms down. Like the last track, I think, picks it up again to higher ground. But I think To Be Human. Oh, To Be Human, dude. Oh my gosh. Like yes, the hold on, where is it? Yeah, now that I'm trying to be human in a world so disconnected, I feel so isolated to be human. That is, I mean, that is cool because the way he sings it too, because it's like, you know, everybody's been in a situation where you feel like, you know, you don't really like humanity or the people around you, I think, and like it's so good, like this is very well put in the song. But yeah, no, I think it's a great album too. There's a few songs where they get a little softer, and then there's one that didn't really, I don't know, something didn't fit about it. But other than that, I always like the way that, you know, the lyrics are. So.
And looking at it, it's only 26 minutes, which is, I mean, that flies by.
Yeah, that is short.
Yeah. Jason, one of the things I'm looking at here is I see our screen, number 3, track 3, I thought it was called Kimver.
Did I misspell it?
No, you put Another Day in Denver. So I thought it was just Kenver.
It is just Ke.
Yeah. Which is
might have pulled it from an old track list. Who knows?
So and I mentioned that because I live in Denver. I love songs that reference where I'm at or where I'm from. I'm a sucker for them.
So did you like Sweet Home Alabama?
I love Sweet Home Alabama. We played, they played at Alabama games also, so Roll Tide.
Oh, Lord.
I did that to Ed on purpose.
Oh, Lord.
Ed's an Auburn boy.
That's all right. Beagle.
Eagle.
I'm whoever's playing against him at the time.
That's right. Why do they say Beagle? Ed? I know it's we'll take that into a different video. Anyway, so Kimver is about Denver. So sucker for that. And it's funny he mentions Colfax Street. There's a line in there about basically wandering down Colfax Street, and I have wandered down Colfax Street, which is not a. You'll find some adventure if you walk down Colfax. Let me tell you, is what he says. Or you'll find some adventure. And yeah, the last time I wandered down Colfax Street, my wife and I, a guy was going, walked by us, turned back around because it was dark, trying to follow us to wherever we were going, and we ended up in a lit area watching him. So there's adventure in Colfax, all right.
That's whoever submitted that those lyrics, that story, they probably went through the same thing you did.
So and I like 10 Stories High. It opens very strong with the self-titled track.
Great opener.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Back to Better, Kenver. Like I said, True Believer is where I just don't like him saying True Believer Radio. I don't know why. Shannon song's great. Andy and Jackie. I really like the. Did I write it in my notes?
Back to Better is a pretty fast bouncing soul song for this.
Yeah. Which song did they talk about Suburbia? I can't remember the name of it. There's one specifically that they talk about Suburbia, but that song was really good. Let me look it up.
Yeah, look at that one. So Andy and Jackie, I like how they were like, can we stop for a second and talk about the band we love? They were there for me. They were there for you through everything we've done. And I love that, that thought process, because there are a lot of bands that I know that we, as far as your ODD host, share. Ed and I did not spend as much time together as Jason Ed did, or Jason and I have. But there are bands that kind of unite us, and we share a lot of things with, as you do with a lot of friends that you have. Um, Hell, I know that I worked in Yellowstone for a
Oh, am
summer.
I your friend, Joe?
You're still my
Tell me
friend.
the truth.
We just didn't spend as much time as Jason and I did. You
Yeah,
and
that's
I,
true.
you and I do love some Jack Johnson together, so that was something we
Yeah, I
both
Ugh.
know,
really enjoyed.
but I think I had moved away by the time you and Jason were hanging out a
Yeah,
lot.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you're already in
yeah,
Auburn.
and it was kind of like the Hillary thing too. Is I got to hang out with Hillary for a very short amount of time, and then he moved away, and he would come back, and we'd see him. It's kind of the same with you. You moved away, and then you came back, and we hung out a little bit.
But hey,
Um,
we're gonna have him guest star
that's right.
next week.
So we had a summer in Yellowstone where Wagon Wheel, the old Crows Wagon Wheel, that kind of united everybody. So it's cool to have songs that unite people like that. Vin and Casey is the song where we've mentioned the Facebook group, the person there. And that one, just hearing a little bit of the story, then reading the lyrics as I was listening to the song, brought tears to the eye. It's a
And
great
you
song.
didn't even know that I was corresponding with this person.
No,
You heard that song, and it got you teary eyed. That's how
mm-hmm.
powerful the Bouncing Souls are. This song is. It's an amazing album.
Whenever you hear the band reference themselves in a song, um, it's powerful. And not in like a jokey way, but in like a real way about going to see the souls without you. You know,
And they sent me pictures of the Vin and Casey that are the song is about. That will I'll use my wonderful 43-year-old editing skills that I have to try and work that in this video somehow because they deserve to be remembered, and it's just an amazing story.
well, you can share screen those too.
Yeah,
You
but I
know.
don't have them.
Oh, okay.
It's too
Oh,
technical for
you
me,
yeah.
can
Joe.
you
I'm
can
old.
can you put them upload them on the Facebook page or or something
Well,
like
they're
the
already
group?
on the Facebook page. I highly recommend if you're a Bouncing Souls fan
Okay.
and you're on Facebook. I'll leave the link in the description below. Check them out. There, it's a really great Facebook. Lots of friendly people. Um, but yeah, I'll definitely we'll put some Ben and Casey in this video.
Yeah, I like that. Magnus Air Organ. When I first listened to it, wasn't a fan. The second listen through, I was like, man, that's a really good song. To be human, we already talked about Higher Ground's amazing, but Vin and Casey, I thought it's a great emotional connection that obviously the Facebook group and the founder of that Facebook group has. But like I said, I just thought it was an emotional song. Hearing it without really knowing much of the story, I knew there was a story written, but I didn't know the details of it.
Yeah, you can tell that some of these I mean, like you said, fans were writing in, but some of these title tracks just kind of led me to believe that there's these are like deep, like there's a deep story behind some of these tracks. Vin and Casey, Andy and Jackie, Shannon's song. These are people they wrote about. So I don't know how deep the story goes. I guess I would have to wait for an interview from them, or maybe the people that send them in the songs or the ideas. But I would like to hear more about, um, a little more
Yeah,
depth into
I'm
it.
gonna reach out and see if we can't get them on the show, at least for Ben and Casey, to
Hmm.
because I think the whole process is just really neat and kind of unheard of, where a band actually reaches out to the fans, says, "Hey, send us
Yeah,
some
they
stories."
they they have those
And
services that you can like tell them, hey, I have this girlfriend, her name is Maria, and they write the
yeah,
song, but no, I've never heard of anything like this, where it's actually like like I said, like a story with a background, and the band has to, it's pretty cool.
yeah, I mean
Very unique.
that's really cool. Like the Bounce of Souls are just good guys.
Yeah, and
Have
when
you
you
met him?
hear,
Didn't you meet him? I thought you met him,
No, I haven't
Jason.
met them. I've seen them live
Oh, okay.
twice, I think, but
We saw him
I
at the
didn't meet
Warp
them.
Tour once together. I know that.
Yeah, we saw them at Warped Tour, and then I saw them in 2012 ish with the Menzingers. I think they were touring off Comet, maybe? I can't remember.
I remember that Warped Tour. I saw the Ataris on too. That was a good time.
We've got some fun Atari stories.
Oh yeah, we'll get to them.
Yeah.
I've met Chris Rowe multiple times.
I've only met him once. And
I'll
actually,
tell-
he
I'll
wasn't
tell
playing with
those
the
stories.
Ataris, but we'll have those stories at some point. So this type of album, to me, the basis of this can seem a little hokey, but man, did they pull it off? Arthur, did
Yeah, I
you
mean,
think
they nailed it.
was
Like,
amazing? Yeah,
hands down, this is the best Bouncing Souls record, probably since. Well, I'm going to say Ghost, but it ranks pretty high up on my list.
From having listened to it one time, the first half of the album got me. Actually, 2/3 of the album got me. And then the last track. There are like 2 tracks in there that I really, like I said, I need to listen to again. I want to make sure that, give it a few tries. But that it is a very good album. And it's a good sound. It's the right sound for them. And like I was joking earlier, I think they heard our previous video where we were saying we hope they get back to that sound. And I think Jason said something to like, oh yeah, the new single sounds pretty good,
Yeah, because it was 10
and then
stories high.
Yeah, and I was like, oh okay. And now hearing it all, I'm like, okay, so this is good. This is entertaining. This is the sound. So,
and it's put together very well. Also, like it flows through.
mm-hmm.
Like there's no point where I'm like, oh, this song should be here or there.
I want to get the vinyl because there's some really cool color variants for this record that people in that Facebook group were sharing. Like, oh, my record came in. I'm like, that's really pretty. I need a copy of that. I've got Simplicity.
And for those of you who listen through the media platforms, it moves. So get on Apple.
Ed loves those
Apple
moving
Music.
album covers.
I do. The moving thing is cool from Apple.
They have to make it now. Everybody has to have one. Okay. So yeah, make it happen.
Yeah, the vinyl of this would be badass. I'm curious what the inserts and things would be. Like, do we get some backstories and things of that nature? That'd be awesome. If you have the vinyl of it, let us know in the comments below. If it talks about the stories of how this came to be.
Or the CD, or the 8-track.
Yeah.
If any, they have to have more explanation for some of these songs, especially since they didn't write them. Like I bet they.
Well, they wrote them.
Yeah, they wrote the songs.
I thought fans sent the material.
The fans gave them stories, and the Bouncing Souls kind of turned it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me see if I can find. Because they sent me all kinds of pictures and correspondence that they had with the band, and it was pretty well detailed. Like, they met on Zoom.
Awesome.
Greg said, you're 14. It's your first punk show. There's a stolen poster with the wrong info. Wait, I took some notes when you were telling your Norfolk, DC story, but didn't get all. So like she actually sat down with the band and, told them the story.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Greg was sitting there taking notes, and he'd send it back to him and say, hey, what about this? Like it was a kind of, it seemed like a
collaboration kind
of.
Yeah,
like a collaboration.
That gives me chills on the old arms there. That's just so cool to what a connection with your fans. Now I don't know how many stories they had to like dig through to be like, these are the ones we're going to pick. I'm curious about that process. I wish it'd be cool to know more about it.
That's what I was getting to. Like, it'd be cool to know more about, like, what happened, like how it came about, or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're they want to come on the show. We got to schedule it, work through it, and maybe we'll put out I guess we'll call it an odd shot.
Probably a link to hopefully it's a link to your odd shot. This might be an odd drinking session. Odd session here.
Odd close the bar down.
Yeah, because I'd love to, drill.
I would
into
too.
that.
I mean, yeah, I would love to hear the whole process of how that came to be and
the story behind Vin and Casey.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I love that one. I think for me, it'd probably be currently with my 2 listens to the album. I think we'd probably be middle of the pack. I think we'd probably be in the 4 or 5 ish range at the moment, as far as my previous choosing. Now, I'd love to. If I heard this one in the rankings, or sat down with a little more, it may go higher because I don't think there's a bad song here.
See, that's where because mine goes Anchors Away, Gold Record, Ghost in the Boardwalk. I'm not sure. It might be better than the Gold Record. I don't know. I'd have to listen to it a few more
It's
times.
definitely not better than the Gold Record, but
okay. I mean,
pizza song, baby.
I know you back working in the pizza restaurant business.
Hey, somebody in the comments like straight up called you out, Joe. I don't know who it was. They said like, really, the pizza song? I was like,
that was Big Sam, though.
Oh yeah, Big Sam. Listen, I'm right. Jason and Ed are wrong. Just get it.
You hear that, Big Sam? Get him in the Discord.
That's right.
I mean, seriously, that was stupid, though. But yeah,
no, it's great. It's great. Pizza song's so good. Ed, where are you? You just off the ballparking. Where did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't. If you already told me.
No, I mean, I enjoyed the album. I thought it was good. I don't like basing things on one listen. It's not fair. But I will say that it's rare that I can listen to a whole album in like 2/3 of it, like in one listen. I don't usually do that. Lately, especially, I've been more of a like singles kind of guy. I just kind of listen to the singles here and there. But having to listen to this whole album, I'm like, man, this is really good. And so I'm gonna give it a listen to it again tomorrow on the way to work, and maybe when we have the guest, I'll have more of a stronger opinion. But as of now, I think everybody should go and listen to this damn thing because it's pretty rocking.
Yeah, even if you're not a Bouncing Souls fan, you should. Yeah. It's just for the emotional impact and the stories behind it.
And read the lyrics along with it. Like, don't just listen. Like, if you have Apple Music, you can right there. You can just read the lyrics with the song. Some of this stuff is powerful, man. Like, people need to listen to these and read the stories.
It's a lot deeper than I Like Your Mom.
Hey, man.
Or throw a toilet off a roof or something.
Hey now, Joe.
They started somewhere.
Get up off that toilet.
That's Hillary's song, the damn toilet.
Oh, Hillary's very upset with you, Joe.
Look, that toilet song is just not a good song. It's fine. It is what it is.
It's not that bad. It really is not.
But it's not that good either.
Look, I'm probably gonna post this review on this Bouncing Souls, where there's like 1,000 Bouncing Souls fans, and they're gonna come back and tell you that, Joe, you're wrong. The toilet song is great.
What they're gonna come back and say is the pizza song is an amazing song.
That's a stupid song. No, that's a stupid song. That song has no reason for existing.
It's amazing. If these walls could talk,
it wouldn't be an odd video.
They've seen it coming all along, baby. They've seen it coming all along. But yeah,
somebody needs to do. I'm gonna write a Waffle House song. That's what I'm gonna.
There are Waffle House songs. It's called "There's Raisins in My Toast." You don't remember those?
Hey, get it on the jukebox.
If you didn't like your server, you'd put on "There's Raisins in My Toast."
A punk rock Waffle House song.
Did you see my meme in the Discord?
No.
Denny's is just Waffle House for people who don't know how to fight.
Dude, I don't think I've eaten at a Denny's. Good Lord, I haven't even heard of that in a while. Are they still around?
Yeah, they're still around.
Yeah. Grand Slam, baby.
I like their coffee. They did have really good coffee. I remember that.
No, you got to have like 5-hour-old Waffle House coffee's the best.
Yeah. No, that'll keep you up all night.
That fresh coffee doesn't work, but you need the sludge.
Dude, that's crank. That's not. That's not coffee.
I've still got a Waffle House coffee cup.
Oh, nice. Do you remember the time the girl put salt in my coffee cup?
Oh, that was yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, we used to. This is a fun story for all of you. We used to mess with one of the waitresses there. She's very gullible, and so gullible. And I told her somebody wrote "gullible" on the ceiling, and she was where? What?
She got you back though. She
put salt in that coffee. She put salt in that coffee. And then she felt bad about it. As I was like, she's like, "You want me to get you a new coffee?" And I was like, "I do not. I don't want anything." Because she put a lot of salt. It wasn't like a little bit of salt in my coffee. It was a lot of salt in my coffee.
That was Molly.
But you had it coming then. You had it coming.
I did. That was a build-up. Okay, so Bouncing Souls. This is a great album. I think everyone should listen to it. If you have less than 30 minutes and you want to listen to a
that's shorter than Insomniac, isn't it?
May I add?
You may.
people. Okay, and this is very smart, especially from bands of this genre, because people's attention span is not are not that long anymore.
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Bands, exactly. Bands need to start making albums like this because it's seriously like they get their 10 songs in, and people get to listen to the whole album because they have time. And again, I'm usually a singles guy. I usually listen to single here and there, but actually, at 26 minutes, that wasn't that bad, man.
If
I'm an
you-
album. I'm an album guy. Give me 45-minute long album.
Yeah. If you'll give me an album a year for 30 to 45 minutes, I'm all over you. Love it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great. So anyway, this is
Sonic Youth.
That's right. Go the short album. They only have a few albums, right? Like 4 or 5. So this has been
I
kind of
will
our.
say what I said the first time I met Jason. Sonic Youth sucks.
He did say that.
I don't have a strong opinion on Sonic Youth. I need to listen to them more to give you a strong opinion.
Joe's sister, you tell Ed how wrong he is.
That's right. Michaela, get him. So, shout out Michaela and Lorelai.
Shout out Michaela.
So this has been our brand new show since this is really the first album we've covered since we started doing all this. What is this show called? What's Spinning?
What's Spinning?
God, I'm the one who created that. I thought of this name, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you came up
And
with
I
it.
can't remember it to save my life. So this has been What's Spinning, where we review new albums. I don't have a fun outro, but please like, share, subscribe. We really appreciate you watching it. Actually, I did want you to tell somebody. Who do I want you to tell? Oh, tell the Bouncing Souls.
I'm trying to hit like all the angles just to make sure.
Yeah, just get everybody in there. Tell the Bouncing
Vin,
Souls.
Vin
'cause we
actually
got Vin and
spun records
Casey.
too.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
God, I can't wait for that video, that follow-up video. If we can get them on here, and then we can get the Bouncing Souls on here talking about the process, that'll be my mind will explode. You'll see it all over your screen. It'll be great. Anyway,
Yeah, come on, Greg. Let us know how it happened.
Yeah, Greg, that'll be fun.
Maybe he'll let you know how much the pizza song is stupid.
No, Greg.
I don't think he's gonna.
Greg, I want you to defend the gold record to these fools.
He's gonna be like, "Shut the fuck up! The toilet song is great. The pizza song is great. All my songs are great. Shut up."
He'd be like, "How did you rank Ghost on the Boardwalk number 10, Joe? You suck." I'd be like, "But the gold record. Who else is putting that number 1 but Hot Joe?"
Hot take, Joe.
Hot Take Joe just too long. We got to shorten it. Hot Joe.
Take Joe.
That's a reference back to our Veruca Salt our recording. Y'all go look at that. Anyway,
Take Joe away.
Until we see them, or until we see you again.
Hey, Veruca Salt won't be out by the time we was releasing this first.
That's true. Hey, we're doing a little time travel here. Just think about Hot Joe. When you see Veruca Salt, you'll know what we mean.
Speaking of, Hillary won't be on next week. That'll be a couple weeks away.
That's true. This one's going to come out relatively quickly.
Tomorrow.
For us.
Or the day after.
Yeah, I was going to say that's tomorrow. That's some editing right there, brother.
I know. I gotta figure out how to edit those photos in.
Oh, yeah.
Mold.
It probably won't be tomorrow then if he's editing.
I'm sure you could. Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Anyway, stay safe, make good decisions. We love you. Goodbye.